Yes, sir. 1 2 1 2.
In the ceiling, money in the floor.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Bricks in the ceiling, money in the floor.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck. 3 cell phones and they all blowing up.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck. 3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck. I got 3 cell phones and they all blowing up. 1 for the work and 1 for these sluts. 1 for the family, the shit get out of hand. All you seeing is kills pulling up in caravans. Please understand all the planning.
We back at it, man.
Is the man in my bitch, you can't stand it. Chop up the bricks and the foes and the O's all the way down the gram thing. We hand in hand. 3 new foes and the price going up.
What else?
3 new bitches and you crazy as fuck. 1 of the bitches, yo, lazy as fuck. 2 other bitches won't pay me the fuck.
Smash that like button, man. Smash that like button. We out here, man.
I'm chasing the bucks. I be iodine, lay in the cut. Y'all ain't making the cut. You're just making this up. Days in the trap, 2Ks in the trunk. Moon rock, kush, shorty blazing up blood. Stay coming up while you're pacing the slump. What I'm making 2 days, you can't make in a month.
What's good, smash button?
Only say this once. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Say what I want.
What up?
I baby chase on a mission for the ones. I'm a motherfucking grind to the whole break done. 3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck. 3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck. 3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck.
You gotta let T Grams live.
Die for the money, nigga hungry.
Let's go, Grams.
3 cell phones. Toronto's on Crackstone, he well known. Strapped like a seatbelt, details chrome. No brakes till I'm straight like a female comb. Take your female home. My tummy is hungry, I'm getting the money. You chasing the honey, I'm chasing the bread. OG Kush blunt straight to the head. Got this shit covered like I'm making a bed. Punching the strip, that shit bubble. Hugging that block like a big cuddle. And I ain't leaving till my flip double. Get your shirt splashed like a big puddle. I'm stewing the chicken, it's cruising and whipping. Can't lose in the kitchen, it's moving and clicking. They choosing the pimping, them shooters are gripping. The boot of the spliffing, I'm grooving and lifting. Highs are playing, and I ain't gonna land till I say so. I'm all the way up, but I stay low. Is that your girl or we sharing the bitch? We don't save hoes. 3 cell phones and they slam dunking. Dope from a whole little gram pumping. Hoes from a stove got the whole stand jumping. These guys ain't real, they just Instagram fronting.
3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck. 3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck. 3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck. 3 cell phones and they all blowing up. Die for the money, nigga hungry as fuck.
Let's get it popping, man. Let's get it popping, man. Let me go live on my phone over here, man. We back at it, man. We back at it. We back at it. A little later than I want to be, but we back at it. We are here Friday evening. What's the date? April the 17th, 2026. All right. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on Twitch. We are also live on Elon Musk's Twitter, aka X. All right, and I'm live over here on my phone, on my Instagram. We got a lot of shit to get to. Okay, let me see what my list is saying over here. We definitely got to get into the Flippa GGG story that I left off the podcast the other day. We are also going to get into the whole Drake Iceman rollout and the explosions and everything that's going on in the city. Also, that creep dude, or alleged creep dude, David, has been arrested. So we'll definitely get into that. I saw something on Cameron's page that I want to react to. What else we got over here? Ice Spice gets jumped. It's getting crazy in the streets out there. Vlad TV also has a response to the whole Boosie leaving the network. We're also going to react to Cribba's Bobby Schmurder link up. Okay, so look out for that. In our civic duties, we're going to get into how guns got into Canada, or how guns get into Canada. Okay, this might be the federal segment that y'all be talking about. Okay, so how guns get into Canada, we'll definitely be reacting to that. Accidental prison releases, we'll definitely be getting into that. And Doug Ford got himself a private jet. He's in the PJ, nigga. So we got a lot of topics to get to. Big salute to everybody who's popping into the chat right now. If you're on my Instagram, which there ain't much people, we are live on YouTube, youtube.com/welovehiphop network, nigga. Okay, I'm gonna do another live over here on my TikTok, let the people know that we are out here. But big salute to Squeeze My Glizzy, who was in the chat from earlier. Smash Buttons 1, Timeless TV in the building. Who else is out here? Not a Fire Drill in the building. Say, why they punch Ice Spice like that? I don't know, fam. we gotta protect Ice Spice at all costs. You know what I'm saying? But big salute to everybody who's popping into the chat right now. Let me turn off this beat over here, man. I tried to switch up the beats today. You know what I'm saying? Jace. Big salute to everybody who's popping out in the chat right now. I want to go live on my TikTok. Let me try to do that quick fast. Let me see if I could do that quickly. Bear with me a second, gang. Let's go live on the talks and the ticks. The camera around. Pow. I'm gonna go live on TikTok. Let them know that we are live also. Big salute to everybody who's popping up on my TikTok over here. For the people on TikTok, we are live on YouTube, youtube.com/welovehiphop network. All right. What are y'all saying, gang? What are y'all saying? Two Piece No Biscuit in the building. What's going on, brother? We are out here, man. We are out here. A long list of topics to get to. Okay. Before we get into any of those topics, I'm gonna run a couple of ads. You know what? I don't even have my ad loaded for Gamdon, but salute to Gamdon. They hooked me up with a nice t-shirt. I'm actually wearing a full fit from Gamdon right now. Watch this, gang. Pow. Got the Gamdon. Hold on, y'all ain't see that. Y'all ain't seeing me. Pow. Got the Gamdon fit on. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to 8-5 for the cap over here. They heard that DJ Natural segment about, Friday ain't got no drip. He's looking like a weird gym teacher, and now the swag is flowing in. You know what I'm saying? Big salute to everybody who's popping up on TikTok right now. Tap that screen, all that good TikTok stuff. But we are actually live on YouTube right now. youtube.com/welovehiphop network, nigga. Before we get into anything, though, I want to salute to the sponsor, starting with Gamdon. Join 16 million players who know where the real action is. Gamdon delivers elite odds that the big name books can't touch. Okay, you get 15% rakebacks on your first week, 7 days. Okay, lightning fast crypto withdrawals, and you can live stream the action while you win. All right. If you want to get yourself some exclusive offers, you can use the code WeLoveHipHop that's going to be in the description of this live stream right here. Or just go onto the site, gamdon.com/r/welovehiphop. Get some exclusive offers. Okay. Go on there, do your sports betting through there, do whatever you want to do through there. You can go play slots, you know what I'm saying? Roulette, anything, bro. I'm about to go on there after I do this live stream. So I might even live stream that. All right. So hit them up again, gamdon.com/r/welovehiphop network. Scene. A couple more ads and then we'll get into what we got to get into. Listen to this episode sponsor Exotic Hot Pots with great strains and merch and delivery all across the GTA. You can hit them up on their Instagram page, Exotic Hot Pot CA, or subscribe to their Telegram at Exotic Hot Pot. Let them know that you heard about them through the We Love Hip Hop podcast. Salute to the sponsors. Cheer. Cheer.
Ready for the road.
Roll Ready Detailing, now open 7 days a week from 8 to 5 p.m. 750 Oakdale Road, Unit 66, specializing in ceramic coating protection with warranty, PPF, tints, wraps, vinyl wraps, and hand car washes. Remember, we clean anything on wheels.
Roll ready, ready for the road.
All right. So let's get into this whole Flippa GGG stabbing. All right. Big salute to Flippa GGG. Big salute to Top 5. All right. I tried to keep the story away from my co-host because I know once we start getting into this lore here, it's going to be a really, really crazy, deep Toronto mix-up type thing. So I decided to save this for us over here in the live. Okay. Now, it's been reported that he has been stabbed. He's over at the Stony Creek Institution, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm not mistaken, that's over there in Winnipeg. All right, let's pull up some stuff here. Courtesy of Rockboy Ninja. Big salute to Rockboy Ninja. And just get straight to the story. All right. So right now I have on the screen, this is Saskatchewan. Okay. This is an Instagram story from YG. But we'll get to that in a second. What's good, YouTube?
What's good, YouTube? Back with another one. Before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. But let's get right into it. Now, according to a post from Toronto rapper YG35, allegedly GGG enforcer / hitman Flippa GGG was attacked and stabbed again in jail.
Again?
Now, last time Flippa got stabbed up, he had to be airlifted to the hospital in critical condition. There was a video of the situation with Flippa screaming, begging for his life. Allegedly, another inmate was found stabbed to death as retaliation for Flippa getting attacked. Now, I don't know how true these new rumors are, but YG posted Flippa got shanked again, a bunch of emojis, Moneybag YO emojis, Darth Vader worst parts.
Hold on, let me stop for a second because they made a mention, and I'll just pull it back over here.
Condition. There was a video of the situation with Flippa screaming, begging for his life. Allegedly, another inmate was found stabbed to death as retaliation for Flippa getting attacked.
Now, I was actually doing a little bit of research before this, and let me see if I can find this again. Stony Creek Institution. Because I was looking this up before and I saw that there was somebody who got killed, and I didn't realize that that had the same thing, right? Stony Creek Institution stabbing. Stony Mountain. There we go. Okay, so Stony Mountain inmate dead after apparent stabbing, RCMP says. An inmate at Stony Mountain Institution has died after police say he was stabbed by two other inmates earlier this week. Just after 10 p.m. on Wednesday, police responded to a suspicious death at the prison located north of Winnipeg, Stonewall. RCMP news release on Sunday. Also, is it Saskatchewan or Winnipeg? Because I feel like this might be Winnipeg. Just after 10 p.m. on Wednesday, the police responded to a suspicious death. Okay, we read that part. When officers arrived, they found a man with apparent stab wounds, RCMP said. The man was declared dead at the scene. Damn. His name has not been released to the public. So these two guys, Evander Brightnose and Theodore Anderson, have been charged with the second-degree murder, according to the release. Damn. It's going down over there.
I don't know how true these new rumors are, but YG posted Flippa got shanked again, a bunch of emojis, Moneybag YO emojis, Darth Vader worst parts, Sentry didn't even ride, a bunch of emojis, good youths emoji. I don't know why you thought jail was safe, a bunch of emojis. Like, where's your Mindy? How you still loose balling? Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't know how true those rumors are, but last time we heard rumors about Flippa getting attacked in jail, those rumors turned out to be true, and it was more serious than we actually thought. Now,
what I don't understand, and this is the messages that he's talking about, right? You know, is the vitriol that mans have for each other when it comes to this type shit. Because at one point in time, besides Top 5 and Bundog and all those mans, when they were running around when Top 5 first came home from jail, the rest of the mans were united too, right? I'll get to it in a second, where Flippa was with, you know, allegedly with another WAS gang member for one of the things he's convicted of, right? This is a message from Top 5's IG. If you in Saskatchewan Max and have a Crody in Saskatchewan Max on range with Flippa, DM me now, Brishi. And then this is from his Snapchat. Flippa got shanked again. Moneybag yo, Darth Vader worst part, Century didn't even ride, laughing emojis, good youth. You know why those jails I don't know why you thought those jails were safe. Then laughing emojis and knife emojis. Like, where's your Mindy? How you still loose balling? Just a quick translation, because I know not everybody is over here from Toronto could understand the slang like that. Like, I found out, and listen, this is also old head Ricky finding out some of these slangs too. The Mindy is supposed to be, I guess, the shank, right? Where's your Mindy? And if you're loose balling, it means you're moving loose, man. You're not moving with protection. You know what I'm saying? So, yikes.
They're saying that Sentry GGG was there this time. I can't believe that, man. Isn't Flippa and Sentry brothers? How are you going to see your brother getting attacked and not defend that? So I don't know if these rumors are true. Y'all can let me know your thoughts in the comment section, man. But if this is true, it's not looking too good for Flippa, man. From the outside looking in, It's looking like somebody put some money on Flippa's head, and you guys know in the pen, there's a lot of people with nothing to lose that's probably looking to collect that money. So it's gonna be a rough time for Flippa.
I don't know how true these rumors are neither, because now they're saying that Century GGG was on location too. That's a wild rumor.
Especially him being found guilty of 2 murders. If he goes for his appeal and he wins one, he still has another one that he has to appeal and hope that he wins. So it's looking rough, man. I don't know how long he's gonna make it, especially with people trying to stab him left and right. It's bad, man. Y'all can let me know your thoughts in the comment section though. What do you guys think about Flippa GGG allegedly getting stabbed again? Hopefully it's not as bad as the last time where he had to get airlifted to the hospital. And what do you guys think about YG saying that Sentry was there, seeing Flippa getting attacked and never ride out for Flippa? Do you guys?
Yeah, if this is true, that is very, very fucked up, because the last one was literally last year, late last year, right? And it's like, damn, bro, we're already not even 5 months into 2026. Again, if this is true and you're stabbed again, that's a rough stay right now. Let me see if I can find some other shit on this, because I did have a video that kind of brought some of this together. And big salute to Six Sounds, aka Child Support. All right, let me pull up the video here. It's telling me that it has inappropriate themes and stuff like that, but we're gonna play it anyway. Right? But like I was telling you guys before, at some point in time, these guys were united. Right? There's one of these crimes that Flippa is convicted of, that they said that he did a hit with a Wasp gang member. So I don't know where all of the extra hate is coming from now. Let me see if I can you know, let's go through this. We'll do a little bit of backstory, and then we'll go to the alleged crimes or the convicted crimes.
What's going on, supporters? Before we start the video, I would like to thank everyone for 3,000 subscribers. That's a huge milestone. I got a lot more content sitting in the vault, so make sure you like the video, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification
Brother, I'm reading the chat. I see you, fam. Big salute to you, man.
bell so you don't miss an upload. All of the information in the following video is already available to the public. Therefore, it will not be impeding on any past, pending, or current cases. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode.
A man in his 50s has died, and the search is on for the gunman following a shooting in Etobicoke.
Here, there are a dozen markings or so on the ground there.
It appears that it was targeted. It was certainly crowded at that time, and there's a lot of people that would have left before police arrived.
Suspect approached the deceased. The fact.
Hold on, I'll cut this out of the segment later. Gentlemen, Bumba, Rascal, okay, and who's the other person? Deleted villain, or the fake deleted villain, or I don't know if that's the real one. What do you guys want me to do? Do you guys want me to sidetrack from my segment right now to just say, hello, guys? Hey, you know, I'll be addressing the Drake segment right after this or a little bit later. Because I've already started talking about the Flippa GGG shit. I got into the shit. Okay, you'll be right back when the Drake thing? Okay, well, thank you. You'll be right back. All right, cool. That's cool. But I see you in the chat like, yo, you don't even read the chat. That's why your shit don't even go nowhere. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Holy shit, man. Just read my... Bro, let me get into my segment, and then I'll get to you later, bro. You were annoying yesterday in the freaking premiere. Now you're acting like a bird now, fam. Calm down.
That there are multiple shots fired, it would be considered overkill in a situation.
Holy.
Deceased ran into the restaurant to get away from the bullets, and the waiting car drove away with the suspect in the passenger seat. So clearly, this looks to be a planned shooting.
I'm 2 minutes from the food bank. Fam, okay, you better be there. I'm packing the next white boy there at that food bank.
Switched up like Glock. You ain't pressing, nigga. You from Maple Leaf. And my
Said Mohiuddin, better known as Flippa, came to Toronto from Somalia when he was an infant and settled in impoverished Lawrence Heights, specifically.
Oh my God, brother. You're actually fucking up this segment right now, fam. Real talk, fam. You're messing up the segment, bro. And I'm even doing worse by acknowledging you in the first place, like over and over again. Thank you for the support, brother. But can I get to the segment? What would you like me to acknowledge and say? Do you have a question for me, sir? Like, just say your question, fam. Holy shit. Hello, hi, hello. Okay, thank you. I appreciate your support. I ain't even gonna act like I don't, okay? I love you, brother. Thank you, okay? Holy fam.
Jungle, which is where his parents raised him and his 5 siblings. Jungle has birthed some rare talent, from the lyrical and deep rap group Ghetto Concept to the loud and expressive drill artist named Top 5.
We see him, we chase him. They got my bro for 2 cases.
Its energy has even reached the likes of Drake, who named his 2015 tour after the neighborhood. However, with the rising popularity and with gang violence rising at a historic rate in a city known for its safety, Jungle quickly imploded.
Toronto's Lawrence Heights is home to families who want their children to be safe.
It's also an area plagued by senseless gun violence and criminals with no regard for innocent lives. CTV's Miranda Anthistle's in the community tonight, where residents continue to gather to share their experiences. Miranda.
86 shootings in Lawrence Heights is crazy.
That's right, Ken. So we have heard this week from politicians and from police about how to tackle gun violence. In fact, just a minute ago, the chief of police walked into this meeting, but this neighborhood really wants to hear from its own people. They have experienced a very violent summer so far this year, and they say they want to hear from those experiencing the trauma of gun violence. On July 15th, just before 5 p.m., 2 men opened fire near Allen Road and Rance Avenue. This would be the first of 9 shootings within a 3-week period in and around the Lawrence Heights neighborhood.
As Jungle was up in flames, Flippa was all the way in Mississauga, Ontario, robbing banks. In September of 2013, the local Sauga news station posted a picture of a 24-year-old Flippa and alleged he walked into a bank just after 2:30 p.m. and handed the teller a note demanding cash. But when the teller pressed the panic button, he fled the bank. Flippa was arrested shortly after, but due to this being his first arrest, he managed to beat the case. However, his troubles were just beginning. By the middle of 2013, the city of Toronto was suffering. Gun violence was at an all-time high. The streets were flooded in historic downpours, and the mayor of the city was caught smoking crack.
There's been a serious accusation from the Toronto Star that I use crack cocaine.
You did?
I do not use crack cocaine, nor am I an addict of crack cocaine.
Do you smoke crack cocaine?
Exactly. Yes, I have smoked crack cocaine.
In an infamous picture leaked by Gawker Media, Rob Ford is seen standing by 3 men, Anthony Smith, Mohammed Khattak, and Manir Kasim, all of which have ties to the infamous Dixon Bloods. On March 28, 2013, 2 of the men in the picture, Anthony Smith and Mohammed Khattak, would enter Low Key Lounge on King Street West to enjoy a night out. Once inside, Anthony would spot a familiar face staring at him with a menacing look. This person was Flippa. In publicly released court documents, it is alleged that Anthony and Flippa had prior beef and Anthony was looking to hurt Flippa. So as soon as Anthony seen him, he began tapping out a series of text messages on his phone to a man named Libin Siad, a leader of the Dixon City Bloods. Libin replied to Anthony with just 2 words, halal meat. This was the signal for Anthony to kill Flippa. Minutes later, Anthony...
No. I gotta stop this for a second. It's not related to the video, but Nice Glass, don't tell me you didn't know. You did. You trolling, bro. You trolling, fam. You must be thinking of his brother, Dougie. You know what I'm saying? And Rob been gone. I put some fake news on his name the other day. I said he died from smoking crack, but he died from cancer. R.I.P. Doug Ford, or Rob Ford.
Mohammed Khattak and a man named Santana confronted Flippa and another man outside the club.
Holy
shit. It did not go well.
One by one, friends come to pay their respects to the family of Anthony Smith.
He's a big part of the community. He's really going to be missed. He was a brother.
The 21-year-old Seneca College student and talented basketball player leaves behind a grieving mother, younger brother, and 2 sisters.
Anthony brought nothing but joy, smiles.
It's that smile sister Camelia Taylor watched walk out her front door Wednesday for the last time.
I got the phone call at 3:30.
Taylor says her brother's friends called her to say Smith had been shot. She rushed to see him at St. Mike's Hospital.
Looking at him, I didn't accept it.
So I'm going to go forward just a bit.
And neck. Santana managed to escape and quickly contacted Dixon Blood leader Libin Siad and told him what had happened.
So that's some just of this backstory before like the more recent times. And then there was the Edmonton stuff that we'll get to.
Flippa, on the other hand, fled to Alberta shortly after the shooting, where he would find himself in more trouble.
Bullet holes in a windshield in a garage, casings on a driveway. Investigators search for clues in our city's latest shooting. One neighbor's surveillance camera captured the moment a man was targeted by rapid gunfire.
Holy.
Police confirm he was struck multiple times and is seen crawling away. One inspector can only say the victim is known to police and it's not believed to be a random act.
On June 2nd, 2015, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, also known as the RCMP, were called to Richard Street at 6 a.m. where a 32-year-old Fort McMurray man appeared to be suffering from a gunshot wound. 1 week later, on July 10th, the RCMP responded to a report of gunshots in the area of Charles Avenue and Hainault Street and found a 59-year-old man dead in a car riddled with bullet holes.
Holy shit, man. You can hear the freaking bullets. Yo, Looney, you said, yeah, rough city. That's why they call it Edmonton. A lot of people think that Toronto is the most violent or has the most crime going on, but per capita, it'd be places like Edmonton, Winnipeg, all those other crazy places. You know what I'm saying?
Police believed both shootings were not only related, but targeted hits as well. The RCMP immediately launched an investigation, and in just 3 months, they announced that Flippa had been arrested and would subsequently be charged with 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count of careless use of a firearm, 1 count of possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, and 2 counts of discharging a firearm with intent.
Let's get back to this rap shit.
Smoking dope, getting tree high. The bitch I'm with, yeah, she buy. I keep the 100, got a lot of hunters. Use your hip hop, $1 on it. More money, more problems.
No, let's fast forward a bit.
Publicly released court documents, it is alleged that Shots Up Mafia is a criminal organization involved in numerous robberies and drug trafficking incidents which were used to fund its criminal activities and acquiring firearms to protect its members and turf. Rival crews include Alexandra Park, Driftwood, and Jungle, all of which refer to themselves as Shots Down Mafia. It is alleged that Murda was originally the creator of Shots Up Mafia, while his older cousin Shaquille Bell, aka M. Locke, ran the group's illegal operations. Fast forward to 2013, Murda began a rap career that would immediately flourish as his songs reached hundreds of thousands of views, and at one point, 1 million. Everything seemed to be going well for Murda. However, with his face now becoming more and more recognizable, it wouldn't take long before trouble came knocking.
Blue and white balloons are tied to a post on Randolph Avenue. At its base, flowers, candles, and spots of blood. This is where 22-year-old Jerome Bell was shot dead yesterday.
He's a great person. Everybody loved him.
Homicide investigators believe the victim was targeted.
Any idea why he would ever be targeted?
I have no idea. I have no idea. None. If anyone knows, let us know.
Bell was one of 4 siblings, an aspiring rapper who went by the nickname Murda. His sisters say they've been receiving countless messages of support from his friends.
Murda was one of the favorite people I've ever met. So funny, humble, and smart. And I've been blessed to have to share amazing
March 19th, 2019, Murda is executed while standing outside of his aunt's home. Months would pass by without any updates on the case, but social media was buzzing. Rival gangs were quick to diss, while fans were quick to speculate.
Yo, Money Man.
Please.
She's going to
Send
send
Addy.
you guys a porn drag tag. You are a biggest
Because
in
I'm-
the world. No way.
Yeah, the name murder don't really help, man. It doesn't set you up for a bright future.
Bro, I'm so
Flipper. I'll call Flipper right now. There's no way the PO guys are fucking you. I'm gonna cut off your
Tell
hand.
Flipper, he's a goof.
Whoa. R.I.P.
Hey.
Debbie.
RP murder. Now we come in and
I don't know
G4
what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. She's a rat. Money Man. She pulled RP murder. I don't even know who the fuck murder is. If you ask me. There's no my weeds right here.
Yo, that just made my blood run cold right there. Holy. R.I.P. Debbie for real, but like, damn, man. That was some tense times.
I just know my weeds right here. Yo, GG. I got. What's in my weed right now? What's in my weed right now? This is called the murder. I'm not talking about that guy, but this is called the murder.
Fast forward 8 months later to November, a bitter Southern Ontario gangland war that goes back decades was reigniting. For years, the Camiso family lorded over the city's underworld with enforcers.
Okay, we're getting to the meat and potatoes over here. Pause.
Stretching from Italy across Southern Ontario. One of the many enforcers of the Camiso crime family included Antonio Fiorda. Fiorda, nicknamed Scratch because of his scratchy, graveled voice, was a husband and father of 2 children, an owner of a large collection of vintage muscle cars, and an avid denizen at fitness clubs. In 1996, Fiorda was charged after Toronto police seized an AK-47, a pipe bomb, and other explosives from a North York home he owned, a charge he disputed. He was eventually convicted and served prison time, but once released, those close to him were led to believe he would never return to the life of crime, but instead, he became more careful. Fiorda was involved in a lot of the underworld beefs between high-ranking crime figures spanning over decades. For instance, he was in a dispute with Albanian gangsters who wanted to control Toronto nightclubs in the early 2000s, which led to a sit-down between revered mob bosses to settle their differences. In more recent years, however, it is alleged Fiorda was assigned by a senior mafia boss, who he would accompany to court and other public appearances, to be an enforcer for a high-ranking member of the Camiso organization, who had been the victim of a home invasion robbery by armed men in 2016. This man was Joseph Catrapa, and not only was he an ally of the Camiso crime family, but a rival of Nick Nero, a convicted cocaine smuggler for the Sinaloa cartel. On November 4th, 2019.
Wow, the Sinaloa cartel. Now, in hindsight, I'm thinking to myself, when was this from? 3 years ago? This all has connections back to Ryan Wedding.
Fiorda was asked to meet Joseph Catrapa,
in my opinion,
at the upscale Via Allegro Ristorante across from Sherway Gardens. According to recently released court documents, it was alleged that this restaurant was just a few kilometers away from where members of the Sinaloa cartel stayed when they were conducting business with Catrapa's rival, Nick Nero. Catrapa arrived to the restaurant first and waited at the front for Fiorda to arrive, which he eventually did. According to investigators, CCTV showed that Catrapa seen Fiorda arrive and went to approach him, but he quickly ran back after hearing a gunshot.
Holy shit.
A man in his 50s has died, and the search is on for the gunman following a shooting in Etobicoke. Let's go live to CP24's Miranda Anthistle, who's at the Queensway and North Queen Street with the very latest on this investigation.
It appears that it was targeted.
It was a very busy time of day. A number of people walking around the plaza and in the plaza's parking lot.
Lying with his head on the curb, and there were 2 nice women there trying to comfort and help him. And he was obviously in a lot of pain.
50-year-old Antonio Fiorda was gunned down. In broad daylight, a Ford pickup truck pulled up right beside Fiorda while a lone gunman hopped out the passenger side. He shot Fiorda 9 times before running back in the truck and driving off. Fiorda died at the scene. His death would remain.
So this is the hit of the mob boss that he's been convicted, or we're talking about Flippa here, who Flippa was convicted of. But what we're going to get to here is the accomplice that he had on the scene, allegedly, with him during this.
A mystery for months as nobody came out to provide information, but in the meantime, the underground Toronto drill scene was heating up. 2 weeks after the death of Fiorda, jungle rappers Top 5 and Flippa would drop a brutal track titled Drill Some More. This song caused the spark in a series of debates discussing whether serious concerns have been raised indicating that drill music causes violence through the use of lyrics and imagery which glorify gang crime and illicit activities. It is commonly asserted that drill content often contains specific references to individuals and groups in a way that causes violent acts.
Also, breaking news from Toronto police this afternoon, who have now arrested a man considered Canada's most wanted. Police say
Almost exactly 1 year after the death of Shots Up rapper Murda, Flippa was arrested in connection to his death. 2 months later, Toronto News would drop another bomb as they reported that Flippa, along with the late Driftwood-affiliated rapper YS, were implicated in the death of mob enforcer Tony Scratch. It would take 2 years for just one of Flippa's cases to reach the Superior Court of Canada, and that was the Tony Scratch case.
Right, so they just showed there an artist by the name of YS who actually passed away a while back, right? YS. Let me just pull up one of his music videos here quickly. Holy shit, 1 million views. Damn, brother.
Let me run down the ops quick with the coke like nuts quick. She's cute, but I benched it. VVS on my pendant. Just run me back, but I meant it. Sit her down like I'm Ken. Living the peas, theme song. I got the keys. Record bitch, no paying the fees. Little fishy, then it guess what's cheese. 2 models, but they got sore knees. I'm a crib.
Right, so this guy YS was like a live wire in the Wasp gang, right? So they're saying that him and Flippa were the ones on the scene for the Tony Scratch murder, and they were paid upwards of $60,000, and they child support will explain it here.
Rare sequence of events, deliberations would last just 2 months as the Crown prosecutor began trial by providing an abundance of evidence which pointed to Flippa being the driver of the getaway truck and YS being the shooter. Surveillance video at the scene showed the late YS ran after Fiorda and fired 12 shots at him, striking him 9 times. He then jumped back into the truck and Flippa drove off. Coincidentally, the Crown prosecutor also noted that the incident just happened to be witnessed by undercover OPP officers watching the restaurant as part of an unrelated investigation. One of the officers followed the pickup truck onto Highway 427 while getting a good look at the driver and the license plate before he lost him. Using surveillance video, police were able to recreate the path of the 2 men to a Tim Hortons, then an Uber to a downtown Toronto condo complex where Flippa was arrested several days later. Found on Flippa's phone the day he was arrested was Fiorda's home address, the kinds of cars he drove, the fact that he walked with a cane, and that he went to an LA fitness gym every weekday from 8 a.m. to noon.
I forgot about all of this, man. They had all of that on his cell phone. Oh, man. No wonder they convicted him, bro. That was mad evidence.
Evidence also showed Flippa was following Fiorda at the LA fitness regularly. The police also found several incriminating videos and texts, including a message exchange about the murder in which one of the people says they paid us $60. A video taken the day after the murder and played to the jury shows Flippa and YS celebrating as Flippa fans out $100 bills and talks about $60K. Another video shows Flippa holding bundles of bills in a tall stack. The Crown alleges this is the money given as payment for murdering Fiorda. Flippa urged police that they had the wrong guy, and his lawyer, Dirk Durstein, argued none of the surveillance footage and other evidence used by the Crown clearly identified Flippa as the perpetrator. Prosecutors Mike Wilson and Sean Horgan argued footage of the getaway driver matched Flippa's height, build, unique braided hairstyle, facial hair, and pigeon-toed walk. When discussing the phone with all
and pigeon-toed walk is crazy. These guys try to freaking pinpoint everything.
the incriminating evidence, Flippa insisted the phone was a loaner from YS, who he labeled as a drug dealer with multiple burner phones. YS was killed 1 month after executing Fiorda, and his death is still a mystery to this day. Deliberations would last just 3 weeks, as the abundance of evidence would assist the jury in quickly reaching a verdict. Said Mohiuddin, aka Flippa, would be found guilty of first-degree murder.
Okay, so that kind of brings us back full circle to these posts over here. Where was my post? My Flippa GGG post. Let's go back to my links here. This is why I don't understand the vitriol that YG has. I understand that the two camps have beef, but they've done to the point where mans have done hits together. Like the amount of vitriol is what doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? But I do have a theory in closing as far as this segment over here. They said in this child support video, or sorry, Six Tails video, they said that YS was murdered a month after the hit on the mob enforcer. They did do a hit on a mob enforcer. Okay, so obviously this guy there, he's got rival mob. You know, he has mob rivals, basically, is what I'm trying to say. My theory is, okay, and this is just a theory, that whoever is trying to stab Flippa in jail, and if this is true about the second stabbing, might be connected to the whole mob murder. Okay, it might not be just as surface level as, oh, he got beef with whatever other Toronto street gangs and stuff like that. Listen, that could be a possibility as well. Okay, from the time that I heard the first stabbing, they said it was allegedly a bunch of native guys that rushed him. There is a video on Reddit that I cannot play over here on YouTube due to guidelines, where they show him getting rushed by a whole bunch of non-black guys, right? So, in my opinion, again, just my theory, this may have something to do with the whole mob boss shooting, and that might be retaliation. So if my theory is true, and listen, you know, it's a sad truth. They're not going to stop until they're able to actually accomplish their goal. I don't think they're just trying to stab him just to send a message. They're trying to finish the job. So hold your head, Flippa GGG. Okay, I'll keep you guys updated if there is any updates to be had. And also as far as the validity of this being the second time he's been stabbed, because at the same time we're doing this story and you never know, it might not even be true. Okay, so Leho says he got all kind of he got all different currencies on his head. Yeah, fam, like it's rough, right? He you know, from the video I just showed you here, he was convicted for the murder of the guy over there in Edmonton. Street gang guy, okay, black guy, all right, cool. Not cool, but you know what I'm saying. Like, all right, that's one set of ops that you got issues with. But then when it comes to a mob hit, like, yeah, the money is good, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna just be like, okay, well, we're just gonna go get the rival gang. They're gonna get the hitters too, in my opinion. So again, I'll leave it there. All right, we got super mixy for the beginning of this, and for some of those people who are in the chat who are like, yo, get to the Drake story, we're gonna get to the Drake story now. But the reason that I wanted to make sure to get this out of the way first, one, this is a story that's maybe about a week old almost now, and I wanted to address it on the podcast the other day, and I was like, nah, bro, I can't drag my co-host down this wormhole with me. So, you know, salute to them. Okay, let's get to this Drake stuff. Okay, I'm gonna skip forward past the David story and all that other bullshit, and we'll go straight to this Drake Iceman rollout. All right, apparently Drake has been blowing up freaking parts of Toronto. All right, there's a video rolling around right now all over everybody's social medias of an explosion that went down over in an area called Downsview Park. All right, let me show y'all the video right here. Right. And right now, what's the date? We're the 17th. I know some people were making the prediction that it was going to be 4/16. So maybe April 16th when the album dropped. That some of those people, me being one of them. Okay. Here's some more evidence. And I'm pulling just a lot of these links up from, I'll be pulling a lot of these links up from the R Drizzy Glaze page, basically, I call it, over on Reddit. All right. So here's another one here. Young Street closed for film shoot Saturday, April 18th. Oh, that's tomorrow. Between 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. I might have to go downtown still. Go pop out to the video shoot. You know what I'm saying? Drake is the unofficial mayor of Toronto. I don't know, man. He's got everybody riled up right now. I'm going to show you where I'm drawing my links from. And let me know over and under if Iceman's going to be dropping before the end of this month. All right, I'll start a poll. Let's go over to King Jared, if I'm not mistaken. Or Certified Jared. All right, so right here, Project Bot, film notification, April 12th and Monday, April 13th. So that just passed. Downsview Park. We'll be filming exterior scenes involving pyrotechnic special effects type shit right there. Thursday, April 16th, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 2 a.m. Friday, April 17th. So that's when the explosion went down. I guess they're shooting a music video. Not everybody's so hyped about this shit. I'll play something here because we are getting a lot of evidence. Okay.
Drake, I'll be real with you, homie. Like, you could keep Iceman, bro. All this Iceman is coming. Bro, you're supposed to say it's coming and then drop it at midnight. Bro, you saying it's coming. And like, we a week out. And man, all right, bro. you keep that shit, homie. We don't want to know more, man. Too much playing, man. Drake, I'll be real with you, homie. Like, you could keep Iceman, bro. All this Iceman is coming. Bro, you're supposed to.
I don't know. At this point, let me go back on Twitter. Actually, not on Twitter, on X over here. At this point, I feel like Iceman is done for the way that they've been showing a lot of this amping up. What's Axe saying over here? Fantano, you a bitch ass nigga, and niggas fed you the wrong information like before when y'all said he had an 11-year-old daughter, sent it out for suckers like you to bite. Iceman soon. Don't blink. Ack is acting like he knows something. What he's talking about, and I'll find that, is the Fantano prediction as well. Let me find this Fantano prediction. It's not going to be too far down because it was like 2 days ago. And this is rare for me. This is the first time that I've actually showed anything Fantano related since his last expose. Where the fuck is this shit? Let's find it over here. Fantano, Drake. Let's hear what this loser.
Break Iceman, it is happening. Based on my exclusive source, Iceman will be dropping in the next 36 hours. Keep an eye out, keep an ear out. Iceman in 36 hours. You're welcome.
Shut up, you
Drake.
And that was what, the 16th? That was yesterday that was posted. Let me go to this guy's page. Let's see what he's saying. 5 hours ago, New Music Friday. Now he's on Twitch. Even though who fucking cares what this guy has to say? let me see what academics are saying, because this is, I guess, academics seen that and he's just like, shut the hell up, you bald head goof. Let's go to his page. Yeah, this is from 4 hours ago. Yeah. Fantano, you bitch ass nigga. I told you Drake delay Iceman a little bit more because you. Let me make this bigger. All in caps too. I told you Drake delay the album a little more because you haters becoming delusional. Drake derangement syndrome. That's the thing. They mad because they got nothing to hate on. So these fuck niggas just making up falsies. With that said, Iceman, so soon. Stay alert. What does that mean? I feel like Act knows something that we don't. Who do I need to check on right now? Because to be honest, I'm not even frustrated anymore. I ain't even gonna act like, bro, what's going on with the Drake shit? Like, when it drops, it's gonna drop. But the anticipation is so high at this point that if you don't drop this month, I think people will get extremely frustrated. Right? All we're seeing, all of this, the notifications, the bombs. Where's the other thing that I had? City Hall. There was the music video or the sighting in City Hall. All right, that's Drizzy Drake right here. More times I should DM this nigga. That's the one thing I'm not doing. Right? I haven't spoken or I haven't sent this guy a DM in a while in regards to all of this stuff here. Maybe I should just ask him, bro. When do you think this? When are you dropping this shit, fam? Is this shit done, bro? Because the at this point the whole world is waiting, and rightfully so. There ain't shit going on in hip hop. Let me see if I can find this video I was looking at yesterday, because Jay Roebuck, big salute to Jay Roebuck, that's We Love Hip Hop alumni. He gave a pretty good explanation. Here's the video right here. And I doubt he'll drop it tonight going into Saturday, because that'll just mess up the first week's sales as far as having a good 7-day run.
It's time. It is absolutely time. I don't put these glasses on for no reason. I mean, the last time I put them on, it was because I was making a video saying, I told you so, about Iceman episode 3. And I haven't put on the glasses since then, but they are on tonight. But before I tell you what I told you so about again, and before I give you any information, and before I can say what I can speak on with confidence, I'm going to ask something from you. You must like, you must comment, you must subscribe, and you must hit the hype button. That is your way of showing support to the family. Please make sure good news tonight. So let's get right into it. Last week at the Raptors game, the Drake seats, those 2 seats that are courtside, they were iced out, right? Frozen in ice, real ice, signifying that, you know, Iceman may be on the way. And I made a video and I said, this is a good sign, because number one, that's not random. Number two, when I've been giving these videos talking about what the rollout should look like, one of the main pieces of advice that I've given is that he should be flexing his muscle and his business prowess. Every business that you're involved in, every corporation, every enterprise should be related to the rollout. You should be showing the world your influence.
You know what? I should play that. That was one of the best breakdowns as far as what a plan should be for Drake when he rolls out Iceman. I just interviewed him like maybe about a week or so ago, so it won't be that far down in my timeline. Why DMG needs Drake? The perfect Iceman rollout. Guarantee 900,000 sales in the first week. Watch this.
All right, you want me to give you a whole rollout that he should do?
Yes, please.
All right, I'll give you the perfect rollout.
Hold on, Drizzy, take notes.
Hopefully he sees this, man. So somebody from his team has probably seen some of my stuff, but this is what I would do if I were him. If I were advising him, actually, here's what I would do. You do episode 4. You do episode 4, and you do it in movie theaters. You have the live stream playing in theater. People can pull up to the theater, you buy a ticket, and with the purchase of your ticket, you will get a physical copy of the album. You get a redemption code. Okay? It's a 2-hour stream. So you start at 10 p.m., you end at midnight. Once midnight hits, the album drops. This is when you start activations. So he would need to do this, have this rolled out probably a week before this. You have the Amazon storefront. On the Amazon storefront, when they get to Amazon.com, once they check out with something, it relinks them to Drake related, and they can check out with the album, and they can check out with any Iceman merch. All the Iceman merch will be a collaboration with Nike. This I'm wearing right here is Nocta. He should have Iceman blue Nocta tracksuits. Okay? So not only are you able to now go direct to consumer because people are purchasing from your website, you're also able to have merch that people will want to wear because I think this is fire. This is one of my favorite tracksuits. Then you have people pulling up to your activations at movie theaters across the country. New York, Chicago, LA, Miami. You should do those cities. And of course, Toronto. But for Toronto, it should be in front of, I think it's Scotiabank where they have that little thing at. You should do it there where people can enjoy the music live. At midnight, the album starts rolling. You need to invest in the people because the people have been investing in you. Drake's fan base has never been more activated than it has been right now. So you need to give the fans something to celebrate with. You need to give the fans something to feel a part of a community. And that's exactly what I would do. If you do the Amazon, if you do the activations with McDonald's, with Nike, with his fragrance company, you should have a candle that matches the scent. If you do those things, he can do 900,000 first week. I don't doubt it at all.
Hold on.
But will he? That's the question.
Hold on. I just sent a DM. Okay, Loki, I just sent a DM over to Drake. All right. I just sent him a DM asking if Iceman's gonna be dropping soon. All right. I just asked straight up if it's ready. So I'm being super transparent with you guys. If I get a response, I'm not going to share exactly the conversation, but if he tells me if it's almost ready, it's almost there, whatever, Carol blocked. Stop this. All right? Not blocked. And I just sent the DM just now. I just got in there. Pause. All right? But if he tells me almost ready, I will let you guys know. Okay? I'm not going to hide it from y'all. All right? I'm here for the people. This is the first time I DM'd him in a while. I ain't even gonna reveal it. Okay, that's my proprietary business. But I just need to know at this point, right? I need to know. Nice glass. He gonna block you now? No, he ain't. Stop this. I'm not gonna be like he'll never block me. No. I'm just saying. Well, I was going to respond to this. That's why I stopped the video. I was going to respond to this. A couple of things from you over here deleted. Drake's been doing rollouts. I don't know about that. Yes, rollouts, because I can't say that he didn't do a proper rollout when they did the Her Loss album with him and 21 Savage. That was a proper rollout when they were doing the GQ and all that, you know what I'm saying? Actually, let me not move this video here. Let me go. What was that? Drake GQ. Is it still up? Because I know they got sued for this shit. Put this Drake 21 Savage. Oh no, what I'm thinking is Howard Stern. That's what it was. They did like all these like mock interviews and stuff like that, right? And that was cool.
You said you're open about porn. What type of porn are you watching? What is your thing?
It's top.
Wow. Holy shit.
Highest tier of top givers. That's really what
I see.
Consistently, like on a daily basis, tuned into, like,
right.
Just really, like, those are like the real superstars of the world to me.
Yeah. And what about love? I mean, could you ever commit to one woman?
Yeah.
Be married. You could be married.
I want to hear his answer.
I'm sure I could, you know, like, I think that eventually, once all this is said and done for us, and that addiction of work and success and forward movement is over, I feel like we're all going to need something real. Hopefully it's not too.
What's up with this headband? I always see this in Google searches and stuff like that, and I've never realized this is from the mock Howard Stern interview. What's going on with this headband here, Drizzy? Is this like you know how they get at Fabulous for wearing headbands and shit like that? Academics is actually getting at Fabulous for wearing headbands. Well, what's this, brother? Is this like... I thought it was denim for a second. It might be denim with a 96 on it, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I'm not trying to watch man gear like that, but I'm watching man gear, fam. Like, what's going on here, fam? You gotta be a rapper to get away with this shit. You can't just walk on Young Street or on Queen Street just willy-nilly, just wearing the denim. The ripped denim headband. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I can't pull off the live stream with the ripped denim headband. That's just not gonna work. All right. Well, I don't know, just a side observation. But you were saying also about the activations, or actually Jay was saying about the activations. I did see a few quote unquote activations, like the Marvel thing and a few other things on their OVO. Where is it? It's October's very own page. That's where they show a lot of this stuff. So right now, 2 days ago, they're amping up with the gear. OVO Mike Tyson collab. All right. This is the Batman Joker. This one is kind of hard still. One in the chat if y'all rocking OVO gear. 2 in the chat if it's like you don't have one piece of OVO clothing. You've never walked into an OVO store ever in your life. Okay. Carol puts a 1 in the chat. At least a cap, something. It doesn't even have to be a full sweater or a full fit, right? Because I know some of this stuff can be kind of pricey. But it should be fire still. This is why they don't be fucking with me, bro. Because I'm trying to remember seeing this on road. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the best litmus test as about what's on road, but I do go outside. I do walk. My studio's downtown, so like it's not like friggin' I don't see humans on road walking with fashion. And a lot of this stuff is crazy. But as far as seeing it on roads, I don't really see it on road like that. I'm not fucking with this. The Batman on one side and the Joker on the other, they're doing too much with this one. But I fuck with this. Y'all rocking this? One in the chat if you rocking this. Yo, I have mad OVO merch. OVO Rick. Right? I used to rock a lot of OVO merch. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of that shit I got too fat for right now. But I'm gonna break out some of the summer shit just now. I don't know if I'm completely feeling the Batman Joker or the DC collabo that they got going on here. But I'm not mad at it. I bet you this is gonna be a beat on the Iceman. I'm gonna get a big old copyright. Looney, you said it's weak? Damn. Listen, it's not strong, but I fuck with the attempt because DC is a big company. Like, these are the kind of people you want to be in bed with. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not mad at the collabo, but I'm not completely feeling the gears them because I'm just trying to think of the function. You know what I mean? Like functional fashion. Like, are you just rocking it to the jam? And this is already out. This is it came out last month on the 27th. Right? Are you rocking it to the jam, or are you like just thugging on road with that type shit? Listen, for the drillers out there or anybody trying to do any type of illegal activities, you can't be rocking the OVO Batman Joker collab. If you're going to do a drill, you're going to get caught right away. They're going to identify that piece of clothing immediately. I ain't mad at it. They got a Looney Tunes collab. The activation part that Jay was talking about, they've been doing it. This is back in February. Yo, I've been missing out, fam. This one hard. This is hard. I don't know about this. But listen, I'm the wrong person to ask about drip. Let's keep that in mind too, okay? Remember, I'm the one who dressed like a weird gym teacher, so anything that I've said even earlier about I'm not feeling the drip and all that, like, take that with a grain of salt. What the fuck do I know? Come on, guys. And all of this is all Iceman related. There was the phone booth. And this is why everybody thought it was 416. Phone booth. Because there was phone booths by his crib. Let me put this, let me try this, refine my search a little bit. Bell phone booth. It's going to give me Drake Bell. I knew it was going to give me Drake Bell. Let's do this. Bell Canada. Damn. There was the video or some pictures of some phone booths or some Bell Canada phone booths in front of this man's house. And then there's all of this shit, the sculpting shit. I didn't even see this video. All this stuff is all Iceman related. I don't know if it's distractions, but it's like stuff to keep his name in the headlines. This is his sculptor, the girl who does all of the stuff for him. All right. You see, you're trying to get an Iceman hoodie. Yeah. That's what I need to see. The Iceman line, the new Iceman gear. All right. So she made a Sade sculptor for him. But yeah, as far as, and I did have a post that I collabed on that had a bunch of Drake related stuff. Let me see if I can find that post. Then we'll get off of this Drake Iceman stuff. Because to be honest, all we're doing is just looking for hints to see when there is going to be a date, and to be honest, I'm kind of over it. Did you see the Drake? I'm super over it. It could have been on Toronto Rappers page. Let's find that on Toronto Rappers page. Downsview Park. This is from his Instagram stories. Holy shit, man. Make it look like there's a war going on in Toronto. All right. Toronto explosive. They probably covered this on the news. Drake explosive. All right. See? They covered it on CP24. This guy's making all types of news.
The city says an explosion at Downsview Park was related to a production by Toronto's own Drake. Drake sharing 2 images on his Instagram of last night's blast, one showing a large plume of smoke, the other one showing a fireball. The city of Toronto says a film permit was issued for the production and that using pyrotechnics requires approval from Toronto Fire, as well as written notice of filming to affected residents, occupants, business owners, and BIAs, a minimum of 48 hours in advance. Now, to talk more about what happened here, we're joined by local councillor James Pasternak. Councillor, thanks so much for being with us.
What? Wait a minute. How the hell did they... Wait, I didn't even check the timestamp on this. How did they make this segment 3 minutes and 49 seconds? I need to see this.
Well, hi, Melissa. How are you?
I'm great. Listen, so we're hearing from the city about all of this. I know there was lots of talk about it online. I'm wondering what was going on at Downsview Park. What's been happening on your end here?
Well, we've received a wide range of complaints. People were very shocked at the mushroom cloud and the explosion. This was done on federal lands, coordinated by a federal agency. The city issues the permit, but it comes with strict conditions, including notification of the local community, and that was inadequate.
Oh, damn. Supposed to squeeze my glizzy. He didn't notify the friggin' the residents? Damn. I don't want to say the words because I don't want to jinx mans. But lawsuit pending. Awkward.
Yeah, so what we're hearing from the city is that 48 hours notice is given, that people are supposed
to... No. You know how people get. It's Drake. They'd be like, oh, you woke me up out of my sleep. I had to be at work the next morning, but I ended up having to go to my psychiatrist because I felt trauma from the explosion. You know how it be, man. You know how it be. You know how it be. Right? Drizzy don't own the pyrotechnic company. They finna sue the bomb makers. Somebody. I just know how people get, man. Oh, who's responsible for this? Drake? Oh, who does he think he is? Just because he's the so-called sixth god, he thinks he could just explode shit anytime he wants. Like, I could just see the Karen-ness just spewing out of the residents in the area. It only takes one, right? And then she's going to go running around to the other residents, knocking on their doors. I have a petition, okay? We're doing a class action lawsuit for that explosion that happened the other night on the 16th. Oh, 416. Oh. That's what the 416 was for. I need to check something out. Where's that permit shit? Because remember there was all that 416 talks, right? April Thursday, April 16th. So that's what the whole 416 hinting was about. Okay? When he was posting 416 in the stories and all that other shit, it was because of the explosion thing. This is just a theory, but that was the big thing that happened on April 16th. Right? A lot of people, like myself, ran with, oh, that's when Iceman is dropping. He's going to drop it on a Thursday instead of a Friday. Just whatever wild theories. And obviously, how are we supposed to know, right? But that was my earlier theory, that it was the album. It was the explosion. Explosions. Where's that video? Let's get back to that.
Yeah, so what we're hearing from the city is that 48 hours notice is given, that people are supposed to be notified about it who are in the area. So is your claim here that that wasn't happening? People just weren't informed of this?
Well, look, the people who were living in the proximity, many of them were not informed. We're going to be bringing an urgent motion to council next week to make sure that we tighten up on the requirements for notification. It has to go to all three levels of government. It has to go out to each household, social media platforms, and we have to do everything we can. I don't think the 48 hours is enough. I think...
Oh, he's carrying out. I don't think the 48 hours is enough. I'm going to play defense over here, OVO lawyer. How are you supposed to let people know that Drake is filming a music video in the area and is going to be using pyrotechnics? You're going to go make a social media post about it. You're going to go tell the residents in the area, oh, by the way, that camera crew over there and, all of that setup that they're doing there that looks like an explosion is going to happen. Oh, that's Drake and the OVO team. Well, that's not going to help the surprise. Mans are trying to do a rollout. They just not in the position to be able to notify all of the residents. And this is just a defense that even his actual real lawyers might be able to use. Like, we're not able to go and notify all of the residents in the area, because if one of the residents goes and leaks this information to the public that we're shooting a music video over here, it could be a security risk. And next thing you know, while I'm walking away from the pirate, because it's probably one of them shots like from the freaking the whatchamacallit video. What you call that video? The Diddy Mace video. More Money, More Problems video. Right? It's the one when they're walking away from the explosion and shit. I'm sure that's that shot. Right? Explosion. Damn, they ain't gonna give me the explosion meme. But either way, you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about. The one where they're walking away and it's like, I'm coming out. He wants that shot. He can't tell everybody that he's gonna be over there doing the shot, bro. The next thing you know, niggas is gonna be over there taking pictures, doing all kind of stupid shit. They're letting the secret out. All right, hey, pause. All right, it can get crazy, and that will cost millions of dollars on the back end. So sorry, we can't give you guys a 48-hour notice. My bad.
I think we have to go beyond that and have a major investment in public education. This was the same area that was hit with the propane explosion back in 2018.
Oh, shut up.
And it's just been a real shock to the community.
Oh my God.
This is gonna happen in your area?
It's been a shock to the community. It's crazy.
And it's just been a real shock to the community.
Were you given notice that this was going to happen in your area?
We didn't know about it at our office. If it was sent, then we weren't aware of it. Should we have known about it, we would have been happy to distribute it on our social media platforms, on our website, and we would have assisted with door-to-door distribution of notification. But the people who did not know about it were absolutely shocked and shocked out of their beds as this mushroom cloud hovered over Downsview with a major explosion noise.
Yeah, sir.
Low key, see that mushroom cloud right there? They might have thought that we were under attack. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm joking, I'm kidding about lawsuits and stuff like that and trauma, but we're living in a crazy time right now, fam. Right? There's like shit going on in the Middle East. There was bombings in Dubai. There's bombings going on in Iran. Like, nigga. Right? I don't want to say that these guys are okay to carry out, but they kind of got a point still. Like, you wake up out of your bed and you see a freaking mushroom cloud down the street, fam. I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. I'm sorry, bro. If I see that personally with no, and listen, I'm not trying to get the man them sued. All right, if y'all gonna get sued, you're gonna get sued. But at the same time, bro, I wake up, I look out my window, and I see a mushroom cloud down the road. I'm calling 911. There was probably a lot of 911 calls that happened. Right? Dare I say, people might have even evacuated their home. What do you mean that's not a mushroom cloud? I see mushrooms right here, fam. It's a small one, or what do they call it? A plume. Nigga, I see that shit. I'm like, yo, bro. We might need to get in the whip and start driving away. Let's start driving towards the country. Yo, shorty, let's get out. Let's get the fuck out of here, B. I don't know how to feel about this, cause like on one end, like I'm like, you know, Team OBO. But on the other end, I'm like, dog, you might have need to maybe just put out an anonymous notification or something like that. Like, Iran has me bro. You're telling me, squeeze my glizzy. You're telling me you wake up, you see that shit outside. You just finished watching CP24 with. They're talking about the gas prices going up, going back down, going up, going back down. Yo, Trump's like, yo, listen, the war is gonna be over just now, but yo, if you fuck around, we'll bomb your whole shit, kick out your whole civilization. And then you look out the window, and there's one. You don't just look out the window because you didn't hear shit. You heard boom, like massive mega boom. And you look out the window and there's smoke, brimstone, and fire. Nigga, I'm thinking it's the apocalypse. Oh, shit. I'm getting on my knees. I'm like, Lord Jesus, no. 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 Right? Sorry. I got carried away. But same way, fam. Like, if you see that outside, it's AI. Stop this. That's not AI, fam. We seen it. I seen him do it. Look, that's AI. Bruh. It's 9/11. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be a hater, but that's just a little, it could be traumatizing.
Certainly, if you're just looking at the photos, I can understand that that would be an alarming sight to see in your neighborhood. But I wonder if you think there are any bragging rights you might have that Drake is filming a video right in your backyard.
Well, look, the film industry is very important to the city of Toronto. It's a $2.5 billion industry. It hires thousands of people. It brings movie stars from all over the world here. It's a great industry. It's great for our economy and for culture. But at the same time, like any industry, it has to follow rules. And while we appreciate Drake's interest in using Downs View, even though they were federal lands, we absolutely must make sure that the community knows when we're using pyrotechnics or improvised explosions and special effects, that they know when it's coming, the time it's coming. Because as I said, in 2008, we had the propane explosion, and people are still haunted by that.
Sure, that's understandable.
Oh, can I see that? Where is that? 2008 Downsview propane. $2008. I don't even remember when that happened. 10 years ago today.
Live coverage at Pam Seidel. She's at the Emergency Command Center.
Jeez.
Pam.
Well, Gord, the force of the explosion shook buildings, blew out windows, and sent many people running for their lives.
Bigger, boom! The house actually shook, and the windows blew, and the door, the glass.
She still lives in the area right now. Wow, she's got the crazy eyes. Holy.
Fell on my bed, and my sister started screaming. We ran down the street. We didn't even get 10 feet, and all of a sudden, this big, huge fireball came out of nowhere, shot metal and glass everywhere.
Lawsuit.
City News cameraman Pedro Zucat managed to get within meters of the scene as one explosion after another blasted into the night sky.
So I was getting closer. I could actually feel the explosions of, imagine, the cylinders. I saw debris flying after each explosion, but the heat was just, you hear the bang, and then you felt the wave of heat.
The Sunrise Propane Depot is located on Murray Road in the Keelan-Wilson area. It's a 24-hour facility, and a trucker was filling up just before 4 this morning when he saw smoke. He got away just before the explosion. Police believe several truck tankers filled with propane went up. The cause is still not known. Thousands were evacuated.
It was a very difficult fire to fight because of the heat and the amount of fire spread over a very large area.
This is just a
Sorry about that, gang. Let me get back to this video over here. Let's go back to this guy. This is why these guys are talking all that trauma shit.
An explosion at
We didn't know about it at our office. Well, look, the film industry is very important to the city of Toronto. It's a $2.5 billion industry. It hires thousands of people. It brings movie stars from all over the world here. It's a great industry. It's great for our economy and for culture. But at the same time, like any industry, it has to follow rules. And while we appreciate Drake's interest in using Downs View, even though they were federal lands, we absolutely must make sure that the community knows when we're using pyrotechnics or improvised explosions and special effects, that they know when it's coming, the time it's coming. Because as I said, in 2008, we had the propane explosion, and people are still haunted by that.
Sure, that's understandable. Thanks so much for being with us today. That's Councillor James Pasternak joining us with reaction after we got word that Drake indeed filmed something in your area, and we saw those explosions that he's posting online, sharing what your community is saying. Thanks for being with us.
You're very welcome. Take care.
Wow. Insane. Well, I don't know, man. Drizzy is in a precarious position right now. Listen, I seen somebody in the chat saying Iceman better be good for all of the big shit that he's doing. And big salute to Nice Glass. Thank you for the donations. Actually, he's doing some gifted memberships. So thank you for the gifted memberships. But man, I don't know. From you get a win, you got to take some losses. So Iceman on the way. Iceman is definitely on the way. Let's move on though. I think I've spent enough time on this Iceman shit. I want to get to this David arrest thing. Okay, this guy David, he's an artist that I never heard of until this whole incident went down. The incident being the murder of a 14, maybe 15-year-old girl by the name of Celeste. They said that she was found in a Tesla, decapitated, just this gruesome stuff. And then after all of that stuff happened, there was a plethora of news stories that popped off afterwards, with the whole lore of this David guy and the Celeste girl. And this happened last year, to be honest. We're April 17th, 2026 right now. This happened last year, or it could have been the beginning of this year, and he was not been arrested this whole time. During the time when this happened, when they discovered her body, I think he was on tour. He had continued the tour dates until the tour was over, and then in the end, whatchamacallit, ended up coming home from tour and pretty much just laying low. So now, 4 or 5 months later, we finally have an arrest. So I'll play a few things here. You know what? I should play the news story first before I get to this law and crime thing. Let's find a news story here first. David arrested. Let's do that. And then we'll get to the law and crime video because they give a pretty good breakdown here. Let's do NBC News.
Welcome back. We are getting some more breaking news tonight right here in Los Angeles. The LAPD has arrested the singer David, who is also known as a 21-year-old David Burke, for the murder of Celeste Rivas. Now, this is a major update in an investigation into the death of a 14-year-old whose decomposed body was found in the trunk of David's Tesla last September. Let's bring in NBC's Camila Bernal, who's been following this one for us. This is a huge update. And for everybody that's been following this case since the discovery of the body in David's Tesla, the big question has always been, why has he not been named as suspect? And today he's arrested.
Yes, and I can't tell you why it took so long, but he was arrested today on suspicion of murder. He has not been charged. So this is going to be presented to the DA on Monday. So we might get some charges on Monday. And it's serious because obviously we know it's on suspicion of murder. So he might be charged with murder. We knew that they had done interviews. We knew there was a grand jury. We knew they had canvassed for video in the area, but they never arrested him, like you mentioned. And everybody sort of questioned this in terms of, yes, she was in his Tesla. It was his car. Why is he not arrested quickly? And he wasn't. And we don't have an answer as to why, but we do know that he had been the focus of this investigation because of the relationship, because of his Tesla. And months and months later, we now have this arrest.
And we're looking at some of that video right there. The body was found in that impound lot, but the car was found not in that impound lot. It was towed there after being parked somewhere in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah,
Crazy.
So they found her body in September, but authorities do believe that she was killed.
September. So where are we? April now? Come on.
Sometime in the spring. So her body had been in that frunk of the Tesla for a long time. It actually was discovered because it smelled so bad in that car and in that the tow yard. Someone essentially just walking by noticed a really horrible smell, and that's how authorities found her body. It had been decomposed. It was in horrible shape, and she was identified through forensics, so it wasn't like they were able to get a lot of clues from the body. So that's probably also a reason why it took investigators so long, because it's hard to piece together that information when you have a body that has been sitting in the summer in Los Angeles in the frunk of a car for months and months and months. And so they were trying to obviously piece everything together. Hopefully we'll get more information, because all we knew was that they had some sort of relationship, but we don't know a lot of what led us here.
Yeah, and yeah, this is one of those cases. It's a high-profile case in law.
All right, so that's pretty much just as far as like what happened in the case itself. But I want to see this breakdown courtesy of Law and Crime, because these guys always do great work as far as I don't know, these legal breakdowns. They give a little bit more information than I'm able to provide. So let me just pull this up again over here.
We are following major breaking news tonight. Singer David has been arrested in connection to the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, according to the LAPD. This is a case that stretches back more than 2 years to when she was last seen alive. Her decomposed body found in the trunk of David's Tesla late last year. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. All right, let's get to this breaking news coming in right now from Los Angeles. A bombshell announcement by the LAPD. I want you to take a look right here. This is the post that was put out by the public information officer with the Los Angeles Police Department on
You see this?
social media announcing the singer, known as David, had been arrested by homicide detectives in LA, quote, for the murder of Celeste Rivas. Now, David, his real name is David Burke. He is now being held without bond, and he hasn't been charged as of yet. The LAPD says that his case will be presented to the DA on Monday for filing consideration. We're going to go over the process here in just a moment. This is a case that has taken months to get to this point. I know so many of you have been following this, and now it seems like the next step, a major step, is still something that's going to take some time before we learn a lot of information about this case. And we'll be talking to former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani about that here in just a moment. But as we focus now on this announcement, it may feel like a long time coming because David was announced as a suspect in November of 2025. Now, before we get into what will happen next, I do want to get you up to speed on this case because it is one that has been going on in some ways months, in other ways years. According to the LAPD, this all started in September of 2025, and that is when officers responded to an impounded lot in Hollywood after there were reports of a foul odor coming from a vehicle, a Tesla. Now, that vehicle, it had been towed days earlier after it was found on a street, abandoned, it seemed, in Los Angeles. Now, police say that vehicle, that Tesla, it was registered to David Burke. And many people in the music community know him by just one name, David, D4vd. Now, when detectives searched that car, they found a body, and that body was later identified as a 14-year-old girl, her name, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Her body was in the front storage area of the Tesla. That's like the trunk of the vehicle. And it was in a state of decomposition, law enforcement said. Investigators have said that Celeste may have been dead for. But since then the case is going to be reviewed by the
decomposing in the front.
Frankly, crickets in this case. No real developments, of course, until now. Joining us now to talk about this breaking news, former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani, president of West Coast Trial Lawyers. Always great to have you on Law and Crime. Big story out of Los Angeles tonight. Just what's your reaction? Because we have been covering this for so long about David's arrest.
Chris, my reaction is better late than never. I think this was.
What are you saying over here, Squeeze? Squeeze my glizzy. You're saying label wanted him to finish the tour to recoup advance monies, then change and then charge him. I don't know if the label has any control over that, but hey, you never know when it comes to the system over here.
Something that we've all been expecting when a body is found decomposing in the frunk of your Tesla, and there has been a young girl who's been missing for quite some time, and there's plenty of evidence that she ran away with you or a member of your entourage. I think there was a lot of evidence here pointing to David, and really the question was, what really took so long? And I think my initial reaction is, I live and work in LA. I respect law enforcement, that things can move slowly here. But I think this investigative grand jury, I think, really is the answer. I think the DA wanted to lock in some members of David's inner circle to make sure that they cooperate, they don't go sideways at trial. And I think that's what they were waiting on before they ended up arresting.
So the announcement that came from the LAPD's PIO account said
his people are going to snitch, bro. It's not like he's rolling with a bunch of gangsters. His people are going to snitch.
As he's been arrested in connection to the murder of Celeste Rivas. And then it says that he's being held without bond. And then the case is going to be reviewed by the DA's office.
Held without
or it goes
bond.
in front of the DA's office on Monday. Like, if you can just walk us through the process of how that works, as opposed to them saying tonight, he has been charged with this and he's going to make his first appearance tomorrow.
Well, typically when you're talking about the DA, it's a reactive case. It's not like this. You know, law enforcement, they arrest someone, they prepare a report, that file lands on the DA's desk, and there's a charging DA that makes a decision. It's a little bit different in this case because it's more of a proactive investigation. Obviously, Celeste Rivas has been missing for quite some time and has been dead for also quite some time. So you have this case that has been worked on for more than 6 months now. I mean, I think if I recall correctly, Celeste's body was found in September. Yeah. We all saw the video of the car being impounded and that search. Then, of course, law enforcement executed search warrants at David's home. Again, months and months ago. So this is the type of case that isn't just a file that lands on some DA's desk. This is a case that is being directed by prosecutors at the district attorney's office. They convene this investigative grand jury. And we know that a grand jury has two functions. In most states and at the federal level, their function is to indict, but it also has an investigative function. They have subpoena power, so they can subpoena people, witnesses, they can subpoena information and documents. And that's what the grand jury was doing in this case. So it seems to me that the prosecution has this all buttoned up right now. This isn't the type of case they're reacting to. This is a case where they think we not only have enough probable cause to get that arrest warrant and get
they've been stacking up information for a minute
past a preliminary hearing, but we have enough to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt to a jury at trial.
Do you think that this came as a surprise to David tonight, this arrest?
I think given how long it's taken, maybe folks had forgotten about it, but obviously there's been a lot of attention on this case and frankly, a lot of negative media attention. Again, I sit here in LA and a lot of folks are asking, what is LAPD doing? How could a young girl be missing for so long? How could her teacher give an interview saying that she ran off with someone named David? How could her body be found in the trunk of a vehicle? I mean, even if it was an accident, that in and of itself is potentially a crime. So why haven't any arrests been made? And I think really now we're going to know the answer very soon. I think the information is going to come out. We're going to have a lot more of the evidence, whether it's witness testimony, cooperators, whether it's electronic evidence, cell phones, social media. There's a lot of people watching. Social media, sleuths, detectives, you know, they've followed that digital footprint, right? And they've seen, you know, pictures, images on social media, the two seemingly together. And I think all those are sort of bricks in the wall that are going to eventually be the reason that David is convicted in this case.
And beyond that too, I mean, I think when you think about the LAPD, like celebrities, it's not a big deal for them in the way that it might be for other police departments across the country. When you look at the timeline, you know, yeah, the case like certainly has these elements that we followed the developments along the way, but how much did the celebrity of David add to the timeline it took for him to be arrested in connection to this? And we'll see what they specifically accuse him of.
Well, it's interesting. The celebrity factor, people think it helps. I don't necessarily think it helps being a celebrity in LA. In fact, it draws more attention to it. I mean, obviously, look, you know, the case I kind of give the example of recently, she was just sentenced, Matthew Perry, right? He was involved in a drug-related death. He was a victim. But the fact that, you know, the ketamine queen, Jasmine Song, killing Matthew Perry, that, and again, I'm not naive, that case was treated differently than the 2019 case when she killed someone with ketamine. So, you know, the celebrity factor draws attention to it. The reality is we're talking about the case here on Law and Crime because it's David. And, there are many young girls that go missing, and I'm not talking about it. I'm not asked to speak about it. And it doesn't make it any different. It doesn't make it any less right. There's women that are trafficked. They're sexually abused. They're victims of violence. They're even.
Somebody said nobody ever cares when a thing gets packed. It's not only that, her parents, she was missing for mad months, and her parents didn't even check in to see what go on. There's videos of her rolling with this friggin' big time friggin' entertainer who's in his 20s, and they ain't saying shit. Like, come on, fam. Even if they don't get him for the M, they gotta get him for the underage thing, bro. This guy is a slime ball.
Murdered, hundreds, thousands every single day. So I think the celebrity factor probably ended up drawing more attention to it, both law enforcement and prosecution attention to the case, because of who David is.
Right. And even when you think of LA, I mean, we've talked about Nick Reiner recently, very different circumstances in that case. But I mean, just the amount of attention, the amount of cameras at court when he makes an appearance, it's just different than other families that have dealt with issues like that. When you look at this case going forward, I remember Neil Langston, one of David's friends, he gets arrested for not cooperating with this grand jury. What stands out to you just about the way, from at least on the outside, it seems that prosecutors have been going about this?
Yeah, think about that case. If I recall correctly, here's someone who refused to testify before the grand jury, and the DA's office went out of state to get an arrest warrant to bring him back to California. I mean, that's how seriously they're taking this case, if I recall correctly. So this isn't any other case. This isn't any other runaway. This isn't any other young girl who is the victim of violence. I mean, this case has been treated differently, as it should. Look, I wish LAPD had unlimited resources and time to go after all these cases, all these young girls. Their lives matter. And it's sad that this is unfortunately a tale that's all too common. Obviously, we don't know what happened here. We don't know if it was an accident. She was murdered intentionally. She overdosed. She was trafficked. I mean, there's all sorts of speculation out there. I don't know exactly what happened. But what we do know is this is a young girl that was missing for quite some time. She had run away at least once before, and it took a very long time to find her. So I think during that time period, there's going to be a lot of evidence. Obviously, we've seen some of the video evidence the last time she was seen. Again, I expect there to be a lot of digital evidence. It's going to be a strong case, I think, when it's all said and done.
And when it comes to just kind of how the mechanics of the whole situation works out. So if he's arrested tonight, he's being held without bond. He hasn't specifically been charged with anything. And then you have, on Monday, it's going to go in front of the DA. Like, how are you able to hold him for that long a period of time, even through the weekend potentially?
So yeah, these Thursday arrests oftentimes end up with a Monday arraignment because of the time period. Typically, you have about 48
Thursday arrest with a Monday arraignment.
8 hours to be brought before a judge, but it ends up being the next court day. So that's why.
So they're going to try to try to fast track this shit.
An execution in 20 years. So don't expect to see the death penalty regardless of what the charges are. But again, first degree intentional premeditated murder, special circumstances, if there's any type of enhancements, that's all going to be very telling. And look, it's just a matter of days before this evidence comes out.
I wonder if he got bail already. Let me see if there's any David updates. Just quick thing, gang. I'm going to have to end the stream a little bit early today. I got a couple of things that just actually popped up that I have to deal with, but we'll do one more news story, maybe two more news stories, and then I got to touch roads. I don't see anything over here as far as him getting bail. All right. His bail was denied just now, so it's not even any use searching for if he's gotten any bail yet. But if he does reapply for bail, then I'm sure they might consider it. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But listen, this is a big breaking part of the case right here. They said they got a few of his other people so far, so they're looking to try to see if they can close this case at some point in time. we're going to be here for a while as far as any updates when it comes to this, because once now that they have him arrested, he's going to have to go through the court process, and that might take, we might not see him go to trial for another year. So I do anticipate that they will put together some kind of bail package, try to give him some kind of house arrest conditions, something like that, and see if they can get him to, up the bail and get him on road. But as far as right now, it's not looking good for this guy. So, hey, fuck it, man. Like I said, if it's not for the murder, then just get him for freaking rolling around with a minor, bro. That's a real life piece of shit right there. But let's move on. We did the Drake thing. Okay, we'll do 2 more stories, and then I gotta go do what I gotta do over here. Ice Spice got jumped. I actually did share this post on my own page as well, or I collabed on this post on my own page. Ice Spice got jumped at a McDonald's in LA. I don't know what the hell. I was actually low-key worrying about how I made a post on my Instagram stories maybe about a week ago, and I said missing, right? With a picture of Ice Spice, because she really felt hell off the map. And now there's a video that's rolling around, and I'll pull it up right now, of her in a McDonald's. She's with just a friend, and next thing you know, somebody walks up to her. Let me see if I can find this video, because when I saw the video originally, I thought it was a girl, but now I'm hearing that this might be a man that walked up to her. No, it's a girl. Holy.
Gas? Ready? Girl. Ready for what? Take gas. You take gas? That's what you do, you take gas? Yeah. So go take gas. So you from Cali? So go take gas. So you from Cali? Are you from Cali? Where you from? Are you from Cali? Where you from? Are you from Cali? No, I'm from Chirag. Where you from? Oh, you're from Chirag. Yeah.
Where you from?
So where you think? I'm from McDonald's.
Oh shit! Damn. Sorry. Trigger warning. Yo, Ice Spice flew back with the quickness. I ain't mad at her.
Where you from? Where you from? Where you from?
I ain't mad at Shorty still. I'm not trying to tell her to crash out, but like she's holding it down. What's the stance? The stance is crazy. She's done this before. So there's a follow-up to this right now. The girl who was in the incident apparently spoke out. Let me see if I can find the page. I think it was on Academics page where I saw this. But the girl who was in the incident has finally spoken since then.
I was with my friends and everything, and we came from the beach earlier that night, and we decided to go walk around Hollywood or whatever. But before we did that, we decided to stop by McDonald's because we all had to use the bathroom. So then one of my friends, she comes out and she was like, oh, I think that's Ice Spice over there. And I'm like, oh, for real? So I go up to them and I'm giving her and the other girl she was with compliment. And then immediately Ice Spice was just being rude. She was like, why are you over here? You could leave. Bye.
You
and
thought
I'm
I was
like,
feeling
why
you?
are you being rude, pretty much? And she was basically saying, like, you could just leave. Bye. Like, I don't even know why you're at my table. Then that's when I proceed to ask.
You thought I was feeling you?
Because, like, you don't got to be rude. I'm just giving you guys a compliment. And I'm like, you know what? Where are you from? She said, I'm from New York. So I said, let me tell you something. I don't care where you from. I'm like, you in LA, you in my city now. You can't be out here disrespecting people. Like, if you wanted us to leave, you could have just politely said, oh, I'm not in the mood or something, right? Instead of just yelling at me. So she kept going on. Then she calls me a bitch. So after she calls me a bitch, I hit her. So I hit her. And then so I got escorted out to McDonald's. And then so after they escorted
That's Ice Spice outside going off. Wow.
me, I'm like by my car and I hear Ice Spice in the middle of the street talking about some, where is that bitch at? I want to fight her with you, woo woo. So I come
What?
back down the street and then that's when me and her fought again. And then she just kept talking a whole lot of mess. That's just like the brief of the story, honestly. And then as I'm
Yo, that happened?
outside the McDonald's as well, she picks up one of my homie's phone. She picks it up and she throws his phone and broke his screen. So
Spice got squabbles. 1 second. I need to see this video. Ice Spice fight. Where's that video? I need to see that full video. Spice got squabbles.
Yo, what the What the That really was Ice Spice.
No, there's got to be a better one of this. There's got to be a better one of this. Let me see a better video. Is this it? Here we go. Thought I was feeling you?
Calm down, calm down. Let me fight her.
Oh, she's like,
Calm down.
that's the gay homie trying to get in between them.
Wait, calm down, calm down. Let me fight her.
Yo, the gay homie's trying to get in there, eh? Holy, I'll beat your ass.
Calm down, calm down. On your mama. Let me fight her. Let me fight her.
Yo, hold the phone, bro. This is AI. That's not Ice Spice. Yo, I didn't know she had. Yo, she got heart. Shorty got heart.
Are you a bitch? Calm down. You want to fight a
Go.
bitch? Why would you fight me, bitch?
No security.
Let's get at it then. Let's get at it then.
Let's get at it. Yo, she got some Biz Loke in her still. The shorty. Let's go, shorty. Yo, Ice Spice is the one, fam.
Hey, don't jump her.
Got up quick, fast.
Hey, don't push him though. Don't push him though. Don't push him.
Is he fight? Did she fight with homie? Oh, he's a bitch ass nigga. Why are you fighting with the gal?
Hey, don't jump her.
He's trying to get in there to get get a kick in, bro. What a bitch. Wow. Yo, thank you for the donation, HTTR 95. He says, talk about Tory Lanez suing for 100 mil. Is he suing for 100 mil for real? It is LA culture. They squabble up, yo. Yeah, the girl did knock her down, but dude, and salute to Shade in the Six, but the dude was trying to get in there and see if he can, you know, he got worried, he got excited, like, damn, my homegirl went down. Because I don't think that's his girl. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he goes that way. Damn. My whole thing with this is, one, why she's so, like, as they say over here in Toronto, she's loose balling it, fam. She's super loose balling it. She doesn't even have anything to pull out, fam. She's no shank, nothing. And this is Ice Spice. How down bad is she where at this point in time she's able to be caught in some freaking McDonald's in the hood or wherever? I don't know if they were in Hollywood, but like you're dolly, just you and your homegirl, no security, with a song that was on the Billboard charts, millions of performed in front of freaking hundreds of thousands of people. Like you're friends with Taylor Swift, fam. You can't be loose balling it like that. You're literally famous. You're not just popular. You might have fell off, but it doesn't mean that you're not famous. It doesn't mean that people ain't going to try you on road. You can't just be walking around just you and a girl, not even one of the man them. Wow. that means like the money has really dried up. It's not even that the money is dried up. People have a misconception of how much money these people actually make in real life when it comes to having a hit song on the radio or on the Billboard charts or whatever, high streaming amounts and stuff. She could have been signed to one label, signed to one nigga who signed to the next nigga. And by the time the money gets to her from her Munch track, she probably made like $1 million, maybe $2 million tops off of the $100 million that was made off of that song. And then everything else, you know, brand deal here, brand deal there, try to keep up the lifestyle, keep up with the Joneses, you know, get the jewelry, all that shit. Next, IRS comes in, they take their half. Now you ain't got no money for security. Now you ain't eating at Roof Chris. Now you're eating at McDonald's in the middle of the hood where people are able to just literally walk up to you and put their hands on you, fam. Damn, that's sad. But listen, salute to Ice Spice. All right, she held it down. All right, she didn't let anybody make her look like no punk. So I was gonna say keep doing your thing, but you ain't really doing shit. This is the first time I think this is the third time I've ever talked about Ice Spice on this network. So whatever. Salute to her. Salute to Blue Jay Fitted also popping up in the chat over here. He provided this cap over here. This is courtesy of 8V Collection. You know what I'm saying? I rocked the other one on the episode the other day, but today I'm rocking this one over here with the Blue Jays on it. All right. Big salute to 8V Collection, 8V_collective on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And salute to Gamdon for the drip. We'll do one more story and then I gotta touch the road. All right. One more story. This gun epidemic that we have in Canada. A lot of people are always been wondering. I don't even think people wonder, but we had an influx of guns coming into this country from time. Right? It's before I was around, there was guns coming into the country. But back in my day, it was a little bit easier. I would say pre 9/11. But that didn't really stop the flow of guns coming into Canada. So there was a special that I was trying to react to last live stream that we got cut off from. That was from the CBC National News, where they were talking about the incident that happened at the studio where like 100 shots went off. There was a crazy shootout between a gang of people that were at the studio and a bunch of people or a few people that pulled up to the studio, and a crazy shootout. Now they're saying they have arrested the person who was responsible for trafficking them the guns that have gotten across the border. Okay, they've been able to pinpoint who that person is. So I'll pull up a video over here, and this is a video courtesy of
transported up to
CBC, the National. Okay, we'll try to play as much of it as we can. But yeah, they arrested this gentleman, and let's take a look.
Canada.
Former Florida trucker Erhun John Eyre this month was handed a U.S. prison sentence after admitting in a plea agreement to moving guns across the border for $1,000 each. Weapons, including a pistol, later seized by police in Hamilton the day Tobina Obiaga was shot and killed. Another Glock recovered in a Thunder Bay drug trafficking investigation, and then there was that brazen gunfight in Toronto.
I'd love to say this is an isolated incident, but the reality is guns are coming over the border in so high numbers.
Welcome to High Noon Guns.
Eyre legally bought more than 24 firearms from Florida retailers like this one.
I bought at least 24 from a regular Florida retailer. Wild.
Apparently using this electric grinder to obliterate the serial numbers and keeping a handwritten record of money he's owed in Canadian dollars.
If you look at a reason why people are buying guns here and smuggling them into Canada, it's money.
Toronto police say among crime guns seized last year, then traced, 86% came from the U.S., leading some to call for stronger measures at the border.
There's a real strong
86%
likelihood that we're catching not a great percentage of them.
Among the guns acquired by that Florida trucker, several wound up here in the Toronto area. 18 of the firearms smuggled into Canada have never been recovered.
And that's just a small amount. There was another video that I was looking at also, and I'll find it in my history, where they had also arrested another gentleman, also from Florida, with who was trafficking guns over here to Canada. And to be honest, that's just on the small end of everything that's going on. Is it this one right here? Yeah.
ATF agents raided a Miami home last week. It was all part of an international operation.
This is from 4 months ago, right? Federal agents target Florida, Canada gun smuggling network tied to multiple homicides.
Local 10's Samir Nefsi is joining us live in Miami with the details. Samir?
Yeah, and Nicole, that raid took place at this home just behind me. The man cuffed outside, property appearing to be seized. As you mentioned, part of a national operation, Take Back America. This, as we know, the specific raid here, part of an investigation that spanned from October of 2023 to June of 2024. From Miami to Canada, federal agents busting a gun trafficking ring.
But what we would ultimately like to do is to seize weapons before they end up at a homicide scene.
Wednesday, the U.S. Attorney's Office revealing new details on a December 4th raid at this Miami home off Northwest 41st Street near North Miami Avenue.
Without going into operational details, there were search warrants that were executed on communication devices. It wasn't something that just happened overnight.
ATF agents carrying out a court-ordered search warrant issued for Alfredo Santana, the 32-year-old alleged to have trafficked guns across the border, nearly
Alfredo Santana.
30 weapons brought into Canada.
Today's announcement is a sneak peek into the complex story about a sophisticated transnational criminal organization that until recently fueled violent crime in Canada for sheer profit.
Those weapons, say investigators, linked to a number of crimes across the border, including at least 3 homicides. Santana, a mule for the weapons, working alongside 4 other men.
Tyler Corbin is a Tampa resident. He was a Canadian citizen with permanent residency. He was a supplier of the firearms to this organization. The other supplier was Edward Noel. He's a Canadian citizen. He's currently in Canadian custody. He was likewise a purchaser and a supplier. The other defendants, Omar Singate, is a Canadian citizen. He is in custody in Canada. And
so 3 Canadian citizens and 1 American.
the last defendant that you have before you in the indictment is Arif Juman. He is a Canadian citizen, and
4.
he is a fugitive as we speak.
All 5 men now facing charges from conspiracy to traffic firearms, trafficking in firearms, to dealing with firearms with a license.
Let me be very clear to you, ladies and gentlemen, this investigation continues. It is far from over. We're going to get to the bottom of this trafficking organization.
All right, so investigators say the motive behind all of it, money. For example, those weapons.
Okay, whatever. Duh. I wanted to just, my brain was just thinking something here. Let's find something here. How many guns are trafficked into Canada from the US per year? Let's find that out. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Short answer, no one knows the exact number, but experts have solid estimates and ranges. Okay. Best estimate and indicator thousands per year is a general expert consensus. Duh. The Canadian authorities have traced over 21,000 guns, crime guns back to the U.S. Between 2017 and 2021, 24,500 sourced U.S. sourced guns were recovered. Damn. And this is the type of shit that kind of irks me too, because they want to take the guns away from the citizens over here when they're able to seize 24,000 guns that are illegal guns in Canada. But they're worrying about the guns that the citizens have. You know what I'm saying? You know, let's do a buyback program. You know, let's put some deadlines on when you guys are supposed to turn in your guns or terminate the guns or whatever, disable the guns, and all types of freaking stupid rules that they're putting on people's heads when they're literally able to seize this many illegal guns per year. Around 1,200 firearms were seized at the border in a single year, in 2021 to 2022, 1,200. Okay, I know that number the other day when they were talking about the amount of guns that were returned in the gun buyback program was something like, I forgot the number. I think it was like 25 to 30 something thousand guns that were returned. No, it was like around almost 50,000 guns, but they were expecting like 150,000. Bruh, you guys are focusing on the wrong things. I'm not in charge, but in my opinion, if I was in charge, I'd be taking the focus off of the regular tax-paying citizens and worrying about their hunting rifles or AR-15s or certain things, you know, their handguns, all that type of shit that you guys are worried about, and worried about these 12,000 or 1,200 guns that you guys have seized from the border in 1 year, right? The 24,500 U.S. sourced guns that were recovered in Canada between 2017 and 2021. That's only a 4-year span. That's a lot of guns. You guys are literally focused on the wrong shit. So I just wanted to put you guys on, put your attention onto that, because they're gonna take 1-2 guys out and put a news story out, CP24, Global News, all the different places, and be like, oh, look, we got this gun trafficker. He's the one who sold the guns that were in that shootout at the studio the other day. So guess what? We're locking the faucet on all of the guns that are coming into the country. They only really hit him with 38 guns. For the amount, they caught Young Lava with 67 guns on the way back from Nebraska. He ain't got nothing to do with any of these 2 guys from what I know. So what are we talking about here? We have the longest landmass border between us and the United States. So Montreal or Quebec is one of the easiest places of entry. But then, there's a bunch of places in Ontario, bunch of places out west. They ain't never stopping the guns from flowing over here. So instead of worrying about the citizens and how much guns they have in their homes that they're actually using to protect themselves because home invasions are on the rise, worry about taking the guns out of the hands of the criminals. Just my opinion. All right. However, I'm going to have to cut it short. I will leave it there. All right. Salute to Bumba, Rasclot, or Rascal, or whatever he said, not a good live tonight. And the other guy there deleted. No matter what I said, I could have came over here, did 10 backflips. Y'all niggas would have been like, yo, that shit was trash. All right. So it is what it is. Anywho, we'll be back Monday episode. All right. Episode 677 of the We Love Hip Hop podcast, and more content for your head top. Until then, we are off of this. Deuces.